All right, so you're getting ready for motorcycle assembler interview? Well, you've come to the right place.
We're going to dive deep into some real interview questions
Taken straight from RoleCatcher.
and give you the inside scoop on how to knock their socks off.
We've also got RoleCatcher's Motorcycle Assembler Career Guide.
Packed with insights to give you that extra edge.
Think of this deep dive as your cheat sheet for interview success.
Ready to rev up your career.
Let's go! RoleCatcher defines a motorcycle assembler as
Professionals,
responsible for fastening motorcycle parts and components together.
such as frames, wheels, and engines.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
But then it mentions,
Using CNC machines and robots.
alongside those traditional hand tools.
That's pretty cool.
It really highlights the blend of technical expertise.
And that hands-on craftsmanship.
It's not just putting pieces together,
You're operating sophisticated machinery
reading complex blueprints.
and ensuring the final product meets incredibly high standards. And speaking of the work environment, I'm picturing a bustling factory floor.
Maybe some classic rock playing in the background.
You got it.
You're not far off. Think manufacturing or assembly plant setting.
Okay.
There can be exposure to noise, heat, and fumes. It's not for everyone.
Right.
But for those who love motorcycles, it's often a dream come true.
The career guide also mentions technology advances are shaping the industry.
Yeah.
What does that mean for someone stepping into this role now?
Those CNC machines and robots we talked about, they're becoming even more common.
Really?
Yeah, driving efficiency and productivity. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean fewer jobs. If anything, it creates opportunities for skilled technicians who can operate and maintain this advanced equipment. Think of it as job security in a growing field.
That's great. Okay, let's dive into those interview questions. And we're starting with a classic.
Oh, yeah.
What inspired you to become a motorcycle assembler? It seems simple, but I bet there's a right way to answer this.
You're absolutely right. This is your chance to let your passion shine. The interviewer wants to see genuine enthusiasm, that spark that shows you connect with the work on a deeper level.
So more than just, I like bikes.
Way more. Think about what draws you to motorcycles. Is it the mechanics?
The design.
The feeling of freedom? Connect that to the role. Do you love tinkering with engines? Or maybe the idea of creating something tangible, something that brings people joy? Share that.
So what if they follow up with, have you ever worked on motorcycles before? I know some folks might be coming in with pure passion, but limited hands-on experience.
Honesty is key. If you have experience, share it. Highlight any projects, even small ones, that demonstrate your skills. If you're newer to the field, focus on your eagerness to learn. And any transferable skills you have, like problem solving or attention to detail.
That's great advice. Okay, on to a question that gets into those technical chops.
Right.
What are the key skills required to be a successful motorcycle assembler? It feels like reciting a list, but there must be more to it.
Definitely. Go beyond the basics of using tools or reading plans. Highlight your understanding of quality control, your ability to troubleshoot problems, and that crucial attention to detail.
So instead of just saying, I'm detail-oriented, I should tell a story about catching a tiny error that could have caused a big problem down the line.
Exactly. That's how you stand out. Give them specific examples that showcase your skills in action. Don't just tell them, show them.
So don't tell.
Right.
And what if they dig deeper with something like, how do you stay updated on the latest industry advancements? It's a fast-moving field.
This is where you prove you're a lifelong learner. Mention industry publications you follow, workshops you've attended, even online communities you engage with. Show that you're committed to staying at the forefront of the motorcycle world.
Okay, on to a question that's all about experience.
Okay.
What experience do you have in assembling motorcycles? This one seems straightforward.
It is, but the key is to highlight the relevant experience. Don't just list your past jobs. Focus on the tasks and projects that directly relate to motorcycle assembly.
So if I worked on restoring a vintage bike in my garage, that's worth mentioning, even if it wasn't a paid job.
Absolutely. It shows passion, initiative, and hands-on experience. Talk about the challenges you overcame and the skills you developed during that project. Remember, it's about connecting your experiences to the specific requirements of the job.
I love that. Okay, next up is, how do you ensure that motorcycles are assembled to meet quality standards? That feels like a make-or-break question.
It is. You need to demonstrate your understanding of quality control processes and your dedication to delivering a flawless product.
So more than just saying, I'm careful.
Way more. Talk about your approach to inspection and testing. Do you follow a specific checklist?
Oh,
Do you use specialized tools?
got it.
Do you double-check your work and even the work of others? Specificity is key here.
What if they follow up with, what would you do if you discovered a faulty part? It feels like a test, like they're trying to see if I'd cut corners.
It is a test, but it's about showcasing your integrity and commitment to quality. Be clear that you would never compromise safety or standards. Explain your process for reporting the issue, following proper protocols, and ensuring a safe and effective solution.
Let's talk about the fast-paced nature of this work. How do you prioritize tasks in a fast-paced environment? Time management must be crucial.
Absolutely. The interviewer wants to know you can handle pressure, stay organized, and meet deadlines.
So I should have a story ready about that time I juggled a million things and still delivered amazing results.
Exactly. Give them a specific example of how you approached a challenging situation. Did you use a specific method for prioritizing?
I'm good.
What tools or techniques helped you stay on track? Paint a picture of your process. And again, show, don't tell.
And what if they ask, tell me about a time you had to adjust your priorities based on changing circumstances? It feels like they're looking for flexibility.
They are. Be prepared to share a story that demonstrates your adaptability and your ability to think on your feet. Highlight your problem-solving skills and your willingness to go the extra mile to meet changing demands.
All right, let's tackle, how do you troubleshoot and resolve assembly-related issues? This is where those problem-solving muscles really come into play, right?
Exactly. Every assembler faces challenges. This is about showing how you approach problems logically and systematically.
Should I have a go-to example of a tricky problem I solved?
Yeah.
Like a mechanical puzzle I figured out.
A mechanical example would be perfect. Walk them through your thought process. How did you identify the root cause? What resources did you consult? What steps did you take to find a solution? This is your chance to shine as a problem solver.
Speaking of potential follow-up questions, what if they ask, how do you handle a situation where you don't have all the information you need to diagnose an issue? That feels like a real-world challenge.
It is. Show that you're resourceful and proactive. Explain how you'd gather information, consult experts, maybe even utilize online resources or forums. Highlight your willingness to learn and your ability to find solutions even in ambiguous situations.
Okay, shifting gears to a critical topic.
Nice.
How do you ensure that safety standards are met during the assemble process? You're working with heavy machinery. It's got to be top of mind.
Absolutely. Safety is paramount. The interviewer wants to know you take it seriously, both for yourself and your team.
So beyond knowing the rules, what should I emphasize?
Focus on your proactive approach to safety. Talk about conducting regular checks, identifying potential hazards, and speaking up if you see something unsafe.
What if they ask, what would you do if you saw a coworker engaging in unsafe behavior? That's a tough one.
It is, but it's about demonstrating your commitment to a safe work environment. Be clear that you would address the issue directly, perhaps reminding them of safety protocols, or, if necessary, escalating the concern to a supervisor. Highlight your ability to handle these situations professionally and responsibly.
This is great. Okay, let's move on to a question that taps into the evolving nature of the field.
Yeah, right.
How do you stay up to date with the latest assembly techniques and technologies?
This is where you showcase your commitment to continuous learning.
So more than just saying, I read stuff online.
Definitely. Mention specific publications, online courses, industry events, or professional development opportunities you've pursued. Show them that you're actively investing in your skills and knowledge to stay ahead of the curve.
What if they follow up with, tell me about a recent industry advancement that you're excited about? That one feels like it requires some homework.
It does. Do your research. Be prepared to discuss a specific technology or technique that's relevant to motorcycle assembly. Explain why you find it exciting and how you see it impacting the industry. This is your chance to demonstrate your knowledge and enthusiasm for the future of the field.
Okay, let's talk about efficiency with the question, how do you ensure that motorcycles are assembled within the given time frame? Time is money, especially in manufacturing.
Absolutely. This is about showcasing your time management skills and your ability to work efficiently without compromising quality.
So I should have a story ready about a time I met a tight deadline without sacrificing quality.
Exactly. Highlight your ability to plan, prioritize, and execute tasks effectively. Maybe you utilized a specific time management technique or streamlined a process to improve efficiency.
What if they follow up with, how do you balance speed with accuracy, Feels like a trick question, like they're trying to see if I'd cut corners.
It's a valid concern. Emphasize that quality is always your top priority, but you also understand the importance of meeting deadlines. Share an example of a situation where you had to work quickly without sacrificing accuracy. Maybe you implemented a double-checking system or utilized a specific tool to improve efficiency without compromising quality.
This is awesome. Okay, last question in this round. How do you ensure that the assembly line runs smoothly? It feels like it's about teamwork and being proactive.
You're right. This is about demonstrating your collaborative skills and your ability to anticipate and solve problems that could disrupt the workflow.
So beyond just saying I'm a team player, what kind of story should I share?
Think about a time you identified a potential bottleneck or issue on the assembly line. How did you communicate with your team? Did you implement a solution to prevent delays or improve efficiency? Highlight your ability to work collaboratively and proactively to keep things running smoothly.
And what if they follow up with, how do you handle conflicts or disagreements on the assembly line? Feels like they're looking for someone who can keep a cool head under pressure.
They are. Be prepared to share an example of how you navigated a conflict professionally and respectfully. Highlight your communication and problem-solving skills, and emphasize your ability to maintain a positive and productive work environment.
Wow, we just covered 10 interview questions.
Yeah.
That was intense.
It was.
But hopefully our listeners are feeling much more prepared.
For sure.
Let's take a quick pause here before we jump into RoleCatcher's AI tools.
Those AI tools are game changers when it comes to tailoring your resume, crafting those compelling answers, and practicing your delivery.
They sound amazing. I can't wait to dive into that next.
Me too. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about RoleCatcher's AI and how it can help you really stand out from the crowd.
AI.
Yeah. In their document, RoleCatcher, Your Competitive Edge, they talk about beating the automated recruiter. You know, so much of the hiring process these days relies on AI.
It's a little scary to think a computer might be the one screening your resume.
Yeah, it's a reality for so many fields now. But RoleCatcher's AI can actually be a secret weapon.
Okay, I'm listening. How so?
Well, their AI actually analyzes job descriptions to figure out exactly what skills employers are looking for.
So it's not just about matching keywords.
Nope, it's about understanding the underlying skills that employers are after.
Interesting.
And once you know those skills, RoleCatcher can help you tailor your resume and your cover letter to highlight those skills.
So it's like having a resume whisperer.
Exactly. It helps you speak directly to what the company needs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal resume coach in my pocket. But wait, can AI help with interview prep too?
Absolutely. That's where their Tailor with AI feature comes in.
I am intrigued. Tell me more.
So imagine this. You type in your answers to some common interview questions, and the AI analyzes them and gives you personalized feedback.
So it's like having a virtual mock interview with an expert who can pinpoint your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. It can tell you if you're rambling or if your answers lack specific examples or if you could just use stronger phrasing. And it even suggests different ways to structure your responses to have more impact.
It's like having a personal editor for your interview answers. Yeah, that's incredible. I can see how that would be so helpful for people who get nervous in interviews. But wait, there's more. Right. What about that Prepare with AI interview practice feature?
Oh, yeah. Now, this is where things get really cool. So you record video rehearsals of your answers. Video. And the AI analyzes your delivery. It'll give you feedback on your body language, your tone of voice, your overall presentation.
So it's like having a performance coach who can help you polish your delivery and predict confidence.
That's a great way to put it. It can even identify nervous habits or suggest ways to improve your eye contact, or even help you pace your delivery so that you come across more clearly and engage the interviewer.
That's mind-blowing. I wish I had this tool back when I was interviewing. Would have saved me so much stress.
It's a real game changer, especially for roles like motorcycle assembler.
Yeah?
Where technical skills are so important, but so are communication and those interpersonal skills. You know, you need to be able to articulate your knowledge clearly and confidently, and that's where RoleCatcher's AI can really help.
We've covered so much ground today.
Yeah.
We talked about what a motorcycle assembler does.
Yeah.
Those tricky interview questions.
Right.
And of course the power of RoleCatcher's AI tools.
It's been quite a deep dive. I hope our listeners are feeling more prepared and confident about their upcoming interviews.
I know I am. But before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on something we mentioned earlier, the changing landscape of the motorcycle industry. With all this automation happening, what advice would you give to aspiring motorcycle assemblers who want to make sure their skills stay relevant?
That's a great question. The motorcycle industry, just like so many others, is going through a digital transformation. Automation, robotics, data analytics, they're all becoming more integrated into those manufacturing processes.
So it's not just about knowing how to assemble a motorcycle. It's also about understanding the technology that's driving the industry.
Precisely. So aspiring motorcycle assemblers should really embrace this technological shift, and they should focus on developing skills that complement these advancements.
Like what kind of skills? Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Well, proficiency with computer-aided design, CAD software, is becoming really important.
CAD?
Yeah, CAD. Many manufacturers use that to design and model their bikes. So assemblers who can understand and work with these designs will definitely have an advantage.
So it's not just about using your hands, it's also about using your head.
That's a great way to put it. Another important area is data analysis. As manufacturing becomes more data-driven, assemblers who can collect, analyze, and interpret data will be in high demand.
This is fascinating. It sounds like the role of a motorcycle assembler is becoming much more multifaceted.
It is, and that's a good thing. It means there are more opportunities for growth and specialization.
So what's the key takeaway for our listeners? For those who are hoping to break into this exciting industry?
Embrace continuous learning. The motorcycle industry is always evolving, and those who are willing to adapt and expand their skill set will thrive.
So don't be afraid to explore new technologies.
Exactly. Take online courses, attend industry events, connect with experienced professionals.
It's all about staying ahead of the curve.
That's right. And remember, a positive attitude and a passion for motorcycles will always be valuable in this industry.
I love that. Passion and a willingness to learn. That's a winning combination.
Absolutely.
You know, we talked about those CNC machines earlier, and they sound pretty high-tech.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who's more used to, wrenches and things, what do they need to know about working with that kind of automation?
Well, it is a shift, but it's a really exciting one.
Okay.
Think of it this way. The skills of a mechanic are still the foundation.
Okay.
Understanding how parts fit together, troubleshooting those mechanical issues,
Yeah.
that's all essential. But now you're adding a layer of computer control on top of that.
So I wouldn't need to be like a programmer, but I'd need to understand how the machines work.
Exactly. You'd need to be comfortable with digital interfaces, maybe learn some basic programming concepts. But the good news is a lot of it comes down to on-the-job training.
Okay.
Companies that invest in this technology are investing in their employees too.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So for someone listening who might be a little intimidated by that tech side, what advice would you give them?
Don't let it scare you away.
Okay.
This is about expanding your skill set, not replacing what you already know. Start small. There are tons of resources online, even free courses to get familiar with basic CNC concepts. And remember that mechanical foundation is still key.
Okay, back to the interview prep. You mentioned that RoleCatcher's AI can help tailor your resume.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of how that works for a motorcycle assembler specifically?
Sure. Let's say a job posting really emphasizes experience with hydraulic systems.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI might suggest you highlight a project where you rebuilt a motorcycle's braking system. You see, it helps you connect the dots for the hiring manager, showing that you've got those exact skills they're looking for.
So it's like having a super smart assistant who knows exactly what each employer wants to see.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And it goes beyond the resume. When you're practicing those answers with RoleCatcher's AI, it can flag things that are specific to this field.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay. Let's say you're answering that question about troubleshooting assembly issues. If your answer focuses just on the mechanical problems, the AI might suggest that you also mention those potential software glitches that could happen with CNC machines. It makes sure your answers reflect the full scope of the role.
That's amazing. So it's not just giving generic advice. It's really tailoring it to the motorcycle assembler role.
Exactly. It's like having an expert in motorcycle assembly who is guiding you every step of the way.
I am so impressed with the RoleCatcher.
Me too.
But even beyond the AI and all the resources,
Yeah.
what's that one piece of advice that you'd give to someone starting out in this field? Something that can't be taught in a manual.
Never lose that spark of enthusiasm.
Okay.
This job can be demanding,
Oh, yeah.
but it's also incredibly rewarding. When you see that bike roll off the line knowing that you were a part of creating it, that's a feeling like no other. Hold on to that passion. It'll take you far.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
So to everyone out there who's dreaming of building motorcycles, get out there and make it happen.
Yeah.
Use the resources. Hone your skills. Never stop learning.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way.
Until next time, keep those engines revving.